All right, gang, got another 2-minute drill here. It's been a long time since I've recorded one, so here you go. So I want to talk to you about an article I read a couple of years ago, actually an article I wrote a couple of years ago that was inspired by a book that I read called Crucial Conversations. And really it's about, we've all lived this, these conversations that we've had with a lot of times people that are important to us in our lives, our spouse or a friend or a business associate of ours, or even a client, or whoever it might be, or in some cases maybe a stranger, where the conversation started to get a little bit tense. And as it got tense, for some reason we started saying stuff that maybe a couple hours later we wondered, why did I say what I said? I didn't really mean that, and it just started to get really personal. And so in this book that I read, they were talking about some research that they found that sort of gives some tangible evidence as to why we tend to do that. Why when we get into these conversations, these arguments, if you will, or these heated debates, we start to say things that we tend to regret. And so, personally, when I get into those, and I don't get into them very much, thankfully, but when I did, I tended to forget stuff too. Anyway, long story on that. So, here's what it said. Basically said that when we get in these emotional states, our body starts to respond to that emotional state with the fight or flight mode. And the fight or flight mode, what it means is our body immediately starts to send more blood and oxygen to the areas of the body that engage us for fighting or flighting, if you will. So we can take on whatever's attacking us, so to speak, or we can run from whatever's coming after us. The problem when the blood and oxygen floods our muscles is it misses a major part of our body that really is important, and that is our brain. Hence, we become stupid. And that's literally, physiologically why, when we get in these difficult discussions, sometimes we do things that we regret. So how do you deal with it? Well, 2 ways to deal with this. One is mutual respect. Find ways when you start to sense it getting tense to maintain mutual respect, to know that in many cases you have respect for this person excuse me, that you're talking to. And if you treat them with respect, they'll treat you with respect, and you'll stay in check. If you move out of check, you start to lose that level of respect for them, they'll do the same for you, and they'll tend to mirror it, and it starts to go out of hand. Maintain mutual respect. Number 2, maintain mutual purpose. Realize that when an argument gets heated, the purpose starts to shift from the original reason for having the conversation to now it's about winning the conversation because now it's personal. That's not why you're talking in the first place. So maintain mutual purpose. Wait a minute. Why are we having this conversation? What are we trying to accomplish? We're not trying to defend our own positions. We're not trying to win this conversation. We're not trying to beat this guy down. We're trying to accomplish something here. Let's stay on purpose. Maintain mutual respect, maintain mutual purpose. Make sure that the person is more important than the conversation itself. Keep them at the front of things. See you next time.